Let's talk about something that's really central to the season of Advent, but honestly, it's something we all wrestle with year-round, and that's hope. What is it, really? And how in the world do we hold on to it when things just feel dark?
I mean, it's a universal feeling, isn't it? That sense of just being completely overwhelmed. Sometimes it's the state of the world, other times it's a battle going on right inside our own hearts. It can really feel like the shadows are winning. But what if there's a different kind of light? One that's designed to keep burning no matter how deep the darkness gets.
And that's exactly the light we're diving into today. You see, in the tradition of Advent, hope isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's described as a virtue. It's like the steady flame that's meant to endure, especially when all the other lights seem to be flickering out.
And let's be real, this slide really gets to the heart of why it's so hard. The darkness isn't just out there. You know, the division, the suffering, the constant uncertainty we see in the news. It's also in here. Those personal wounds, the fears, the sins that can just weigh us down and make hope feel almost impossible.
And you know, this whole struggle for hope, it's not a new thing at all. The source material points us way back to the prophets of ancient Israel. I mean, these guys were living in times of incredible injustice and spiritual darkness, yet they held on to this light. They had this deep conviction and just kept proclaiming that something better was on its way. They were kind of like the original guardians of the flame. Okay, so this is where we get to a really crucial distinction. The kind of hope we're talking about here is fundamentally different from what we might casually call hope in everyday life. Yeah, it's not just crossing your fingers and wishing for the best, it's something way, way stronger.
And boom, here it is, the core definition. And the one word that just changes everything is confidence. This isn't about uncertainty or taking a wild guess. It's a firm, solid belief that certain promises are going to be kept, no matter what the circumstances around us look like.
This chart just lays it out so perfectly. Wishful thinking? That's passive. We just kind of sit there wanting something to happen. But this Advent hope? It's active. It actually requires something from us. Wishful thinking is totally uncertain, but this hope is confident. And here's the biggest shift. It's not just about desiring an outcome, it's about actively placing your trust in a promise. Big difference.
So if this hope is active and not passive, what does that action actually look like? What are we supposed to do? Well, it means we don't just sit back and wait for the light to show up. We actually have a role to play. We have to help prepare the way.
And this, of course, is that famous call from the biblical figure John the Baptist. He's that powerful voice crying out from the wilderness with this exact message. And it's not a suggestion, right? It's a direct command and invitation for us to participate in the coming of the light, not just watch it happen from a distance.
So, how do we prepare the way? It's not some vague, abstract idea. The source gives us 3 really concrete steps for clearing the path in our own lives. First, we have to actively clear away resentment. Then, clear away our own selfishness. And finally, clear away any spiritual laziness or apathy that might be holding us back. This right here. This is what active hope actually looks like in practice.
But why? Why do all this work? What is the fuel for this active, confident kind of hope? Well, it all comes back to the promise that got this whole thing started in the first place.
And this is it. This is the promise at the very heart of everything. It's so simple, so direct, but so incredibly powerful. It speaks right to our deepest fears of being alone, of being abandoned, and it counters them with this incredible promise of presence, of arrival, and of reassurance.
And here's a really important insight. This isn't just about an event that happened 2,000 years ago. The source really emphasizes that this promise is an ongoing reality. It's a continual coming, which means this hope is completely relevant right here, right now, in whatever situation you and I find ourselves in today.
And in the end, this is what hope does. It's an act of reorienting ourselves. It doesn't pretend the darkness isn't there. It sees it, it acknowledges it, but it refuses to let the darkness be the end of the story. Hope actively lifts our gaze toward the horizon, confident that a new dawn is, in fact, coming. So maybe the question to leave with is this: what darkness is this hope inviting you to look up from today?